It's that time of the week. It is Monday, and you know what that means, everyone. Time to punch your ticket and hop on board with me, Jasmin St. Join me and my wonderful guests as we take you into a wild journey on Off the Rails live stream. Hop on in the chat, ask questions, leave comments, or just sit back and watch the madness unfold. We'll be waiting for you. Hi everyone, happy Monday, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Off the Rails. Sorry, it's been a long day. I've been up super early this morning catching my flight back home. I'm even surprised I had the energy to do a live stream. Like, thank God I did. Hey guys, hey Scott, hey Phoenix Red, hey Paul, Bria, welcome back. I see some new faces in here. Hey Ben, hey Jamal, hope everything's going really well this week. Yeah, it was a fun weekend. It was a few shows for JCW Wrestling. We were in the Detroit, Saginaw, Lansing areas for the show, which was great. I really love the venues. Harpo's is still one of my favorite metal venues. I know it's a much older venue, but some of the history and the bands that have played there, it's amazing. So before I bring my guest in, because she is out there in the studio waiting, I'd like to go ahead and throw in a quick word for our sponsor, Supermassive Black Coffee. So if you are in the market for some really amazing coffee, hop on over to supermassiveblackcoffee.com and put in the code MBN, that's Mary, Bria, Nancy, for 20% off. You can't beat that, because good coffee is good coffee. So let's see. And also, I wanted to thank Strange Suspicion, Bob. Thank you so much for making my intro and outro. Make sure to follow him on YouTube. And go ahead and hop on over to Instagram and follow Strange Suspicion. I love the work he's done so far on my the intros and outros for this. So anyway, I see I see Goldilocks. Goldie, I think you got to flip your camera because you're coming in sideways this way. So if you could flip it, even though I don't think people are really, yep, there you go. See? Okay. Yeah, Tuesday, yeah, Thursday, the car wreck, really? So it wasn't the Uber driver's fault. It was a guy that just hit us in the sweet spot in an SUV. We were literally like rolling on the side of the wheel for a couple of seconds because my driver was trying to pull over to the side, but Uber still gave me some kind of a really nice credit. So, hey, and you know what? Yeah, I do believe in death at your own hands, but my God, I mean, the last place I'd want to pass away on is in an Uber ride to an airport. That would just be the worst ever. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring in the gorgeous Goldilocks, who I've not seen in like forever since TNA.
Wow. Okay, so you're sure that we want to do the vertical here and not the horizontal?
No, you look great. Actually, what does a horizontal look like? That looks pretty too. Oh, no. Now you're horizontal too.
Well, it should, but you know what I'm saying? It should have come in like yours. I planned it that way. My bad. I tried. Hello, everyone.
Oh, it's just technology, girl. I mean, it's just this whole other, I don't like technology. Like, the less, the better. I'm tempted to get rid of my cell phone, so I just have a house phone, like a landline.
Well, I apologize if I do not look the way your show needs it formatted wise. I would go nuts if somebody came on my show and didn't quite look like my head isn't as big as yours, girl.
You look great. No, you look beautiful. I mean, it's been a minute. You told me that you're backstage at a show. Tell me about this and what you're doing.
Just lots of live shows, and I'm actually outside of an airport. And I got, like I said, I apologize. I just had the date completely wrong. I have it down, and I thought, oh, I'll be back home for a day, and I can look really pretty for your show, and you're gonna get, you get the hair that hasn't been washed in, we'll just say, a while. So you look really good. Just doing lots of live performance, and went back to TNA a couple weeks ago. That was super fun. Where I met you at, that was great. Really, really good stuff. like just super pumped at lots of good things.
That's amazing. I love TNA. Like, I'm following all the wrestling. It seems like a lot of us from that era are just coming back into it now, which is insane. I don't feel bad about your hair. I didn't shampoo my hair in 4 days. I didn't even bathe when I got back to my apartment. I just had soup and I was playing with my cat. I got to take a shower later. I came back from Detroit.
Yeah. So what are you doing? You're doing this stuff with Vince Russo now?
Well, yeah, I started working for Juggalo Championship Wrestling last year.
Okay.
I'm still there. I'm having a blast. Yeah, I would like to work other places, not indie, but there's another company out there, like whatever, Maple Leaf Pro, MLW, TNA, AEW, like one of those. I would work there too, but I love being at JCW. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me at NWA or TNA one day. I know when we started there, it was NWA TNA. It was under Jeff Jarrett's.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you even get started with that?
I thought it was one way, but it was another. I mean, basically, I had a record deal, and the entertainment lawyer that was working with Jeff Jarrett was also working with us, and they said, you should bring this girl in. I thought that I just got it on my own merit, but I had some help. So it was basically like, I found out, I think, from Jeff Jarrett later on, it was like, if you want me to continue working on, then you got to take this chick with you. So it was like, oh, it was a female lawyer who, she's a fierce badass, and she was just taking names and numbers and helped slide me in on the bill too. So it really does matter who you know, and you know the old saying, is my audio okay, girl, or is it feeding back?
It sounds beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, it really is who you know. And I but it was a really, girl, like, I was in a bad situation when I got hired. Like, I wasn't with, I did they mean well? I'm always trying to say like nice things and not bury people, but it wasn't the best, mentally the best place to be in. And I remember meeting the lawyer in Los Angeles on Sunset Strip at Chin Chin, and she kept saying, like, did you make an audition tape for me to send to Jeff and Jerry? And I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, kick, like, under the table, like the person that was managing me would kick me hard. And then I was quiet, and then she's like, if I had something, I could probably really get you this job. I've been selling you on everything that you're doing musically and your audience and fan base. And there wasn't really social media back then, but I had a good fan base from playing and doing all the stuff that I did, records that were out. I said, well, I actually do have some kick. Like, after the third time, I could just feel like my shin, like, ooh, it hurts even thinking about it. And I just finally pulled out like a DVD that I had burned and said, here, I have this. And they ended up airing that on TNA, like, later on. After a couple of years when I was on, they aired like the actual audition tape that I had, CD, DVD, but as like a bit. And that's how I got the job. But I mean, I got kicked like really hard. And the people that I was working with were always like, oh, you're not ready, or you're not good enough, or you're not. I'm like, I think I am. I mean, people that would say she sucked on TNA when she first started, but I was good enough to at least get an audition and a call. But it just goes to show you, like, I did that little piece on my own because the record label is always like, oh, we're going to hire professionals. We're going to, like, when are you going to hire a professional? Like, will I be 80 by the time you hire a professional? So I just kind of went out and shot some stuff on my own, guerrilla style. And that was what got Jarrett's attention. That and her putting her fist down and saying, you're doing this, so I had help.
Hey, local Crown Clue, whoop, whoop. I miss having your Fago dogs. Any of the juggalos out there, whoop, whoop to all of you. Local Crown Crew makes these Fago hot dogs.
Oh, yeah?
And then he grills it. It's so good. Yeah, but a lot of people got their start in things different ways, and of course someone knows someone. Unfortunately, I never got a job from knowing anybody. It's just, me hustling and bustling. In JCW, I did know the Backseat Boys. I was friends with them, and then I asked them, and blah, 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 blah. So,
oh, God, that sounds like Russo right there. Blah, 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 blah. That's a total Russo. What's that?
Oh, Russo. Yeah, I think I've been hanging around. Hanging around him too much.
Yeah, that's totally him.
I know. Oh, totally. So about your music, tell us about your music. Is it country? Is it rock and country? What is it?
It's modern rock with a little bit of pop. So, like, maybe if Pink was a little heavier, or it's kind of like we've opened for Three Doors Down and Nickelback and Puddle of Mud. And We had a guy in the band for a while, our current guitarist, who's a little more like 80s metal. So there's a little bit of that influence in like our last recent couple of releases, but we're not 80s metal, but you know, he kind of plays some stuff like that. So we're basically modern rock, but who's ever in the band, we kind of bend to like what they bring to the table. What did they write? What were their influences? What were their styles? No country. I'm not a big country fan. It's not that I don't like it, it's that I live in Nashville and I feel like a lot of people, I'll just say it, they've failed every place else, so they just come to Nashville and get an accent and and it's I don't like it, and I think I don't dig it. Leave the country for the people like Dolly Parton or Loretta Lynn or the people like Lainey Wilson, who I believe that you're a country singer. I believe what you're speaking about. I believe what you're singing about. It's authentic. I just think there's a lot of fakes out there. So I've gotten a bad taste in my mouth being in Nashville because of that. There's plenty of really talented people and I love it. But the stuff does start to sound like exactly the same. It's the same song every time about the same stuff. And maybe people will say that about rock too, but so country's cool, but it's not like my favorite thing. And I mean, rap isn't really my favorite thing. I can handle it for a little while. Country rock, blues. Again, I like either straight up pop girl or rock or a little pop rock, but like everything in between, I don't know so much. I like Taylor Swift. I like Charlie Puth. I like that kind of music. You know, it's fun just to have on and background noise, sing along, things like that. I can't rock out to it. So our stuff is, you know, more rocking and some of it gets a little heavier, but it's a theatrical and interactive show where we include the crowd and things and make it fun for them. So it's not all about us at all. It's a fun show.
I'm more of a metal person, definitely, like all the different genres and all that. And you know, I like theatrical shows. It's the fun thing about Insane Clown Posse. They have
Exactly.
a great show, and then also Alice Cooper. Let's not
Exactly.
forget King Diamond. I mean, King Diamond. He can
Yeah.
give Rob Zombie a run for his money. I personally like Rob Zombie. Is great, but he's not that talented. Like if King Diamond were to go head to head with him in a theater competition or even just say a movie script competition, King Diamond would have it, like hands down. Even like a black metal opera of some type would be perfect. Maybe the whole thing with Rob Zombie was his wife or whatever, like not wanting hot chicks in the movies, and or if he's around, having to be in all the photos. Yeah, so like when my boyfriend, I dated a drummer from Slayer, and he was on tour in Ozfest, so he took me along, which was fun. I got to see him play drums every night, and I got to many Ozfest, right? And I don't really give a shit that I'm saying this now. So I took a photo with Rob Zombie. All of a sudden, Yoko came into the photo. Oh my God, I have to be in the photo with him. It's like, bitch, you were a stripper. You like jump up on stage and was with the girl, one of the girls dancing for him. Now you're on his main, you know, his main sideshow. Do you really think I care about your boyfriend with his shit locks? No, I don't. I like his music though. It's weird. Yeah, I went on my tangent. It's so weird how women act in the business. So then fast forward to about 10 years ago, they were casting something and I was back in the country for a few months. And we had a talk with his manager. And it's like, Sherry wouldn't want Jasmin on the set. It's like, I've been on way more professional sets, I'm sure, and I've never had a problem. I know these people are crazy. Someone wants to know if you would consider opening an ICP show or performing at the Gathering. I think you'd be good at the Gathering, and that's a blast.
Okay, so do you want to who's asking? What's their name?
His name is Local Clown Crew. His nickname's Batman. Let's call him Batman.
Batman, I want you to go look at most of the ICP albums. They're going to be produced, mixed by a guy named Mike Poole. So check that out. So the guy that mixes and does the last 15, 20 years of ICP is actually one of my really good friends that we co-write together. Oh. We've got songs that are out that are super dirty. God, I used to write some. I wrote some dirty stuff in my day, girl. But so indirectly, I've worked with Insane Clown Posse. That would be absolutely amazing because we would make Mike P come and guest somehow, either with them or with me. But I would freak out if you've got any ins for that. That would be one hell of a show. It'd be really, really awesome. That would be a perfect fit.
I think you should do the Gathering because that's such a diverse set of music. Oh, by the way, what's the name of your band? We didn't even get to that.
The Goldilocks band.
The
Been that since
Goldilocks band.
It's
Oh
been
my
the Goldilocks band forever. That's how I got started in wrestling, is because the Goldilocks band was doing really well. I was signed to Prince's label and moving and shaking. And so they're like, let's just bring the lead singer in and have her do backstage commentary. And then I got into managing and then even did some horrible wrestling. But it all started with that, with the Goldilocks band.
I think that's so awesome. Do you have any memories on working with Ron Killings at TNA?
I just talked to Ron the other day about his music, ironically. I hope you have him on your show. Have you had him on talking about his music?
Well, I worked with him in Memphis, and we also had a little bit of a thing. Hold on a second. I don't know what my cat is up to. Just give me 1 second. He's meowing. I don't know if I just locked him in the closet by accident, and I don't want like CPS or what is it? Who are those people that do this to you? What are they called again?
The animal rights?
Yeah, I just don't need like a bunch of like crazy women with really fucked up hair coming in my house, like busting my damn door down. Hang on for 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I swear. Last week it was the Amazon guy or the UPS guy delivering my baseball, some baseball memorabilia. Give me 1 second. I'm like so sometimes this shit happens. Hang on.
Well, I'll talk if it's alive. We were talking about. Am I in pause or are we still going?
You're still
So
going.
Ron Killings, we worked together, but I would see him afterwards in Nashville at like Hooters or whatever restaurant we all went to sit and have wings. I would have my little salad and whatnot. I never really got a chance to know Ron. I knew him and we worked together and we did promos together. But as I will tell Jasmin when she comes back, my head was so severely up my ass in TNA, and I didn't really get to know the people that I should have. And I didn't even know I didn't know who you, I mean, I knew who you were and I knew some things, but, and you know, I was going to tell you something about that. Like, this is a complete shoot. So okay. I remember seeing you coming in at the Municipal.
Yeah.
And you were with Blue Meanie.
Ew.
And he was very protective of you. And of course, I mean, people are bringing you in because you had some things that you did that got some attention.
Yeah,
and
right.
What's that?
Yeah, I was doing porn like prior to getting to the rest.
Okay, well, I didn't like the way that some, not all, but some people were making some shit ass comments, and I didn't like that, and I didn't even know you, and I didn't care what you did or do now, or I don't care. I just said she's not here, and you should shut your fucking mouth. And if you would say that to her face, then. And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, somebody that's another woman, and you're disrespecting it. And again, they're just being guys, and guys are guys. And you might not have cared what they said, but I did. And I said, if I'm in this company and I'm going to be here, then show some respect. But I never told you that. So that was like 24 years ago or something. And I just said, show respect for people. And I got into it with some of those guys with some things, just because sometimes they weren't like afterwards, after shows, they weren't, oh God, there's a terrible story. I probably won't tell it, but sometimes they were really disrespectful to women in the places that we're at. Never to me, but if I'm there and I'm watching you disrespect another woman who's high or drunk and doesn't know what she's doing, she's not in her right mind, and you're taking advantage of her, well, then I'm going to say something, and I'm going to get in your face, and I'm going to make you feel like shit. And they've said since then, I'm sorry, and you're right. And I'm like, one guy was just out of line. And I'm like, aren't you a new dad? Didn't you just give birth to a little baby girl? Like, do you want your daughter to grow up and have men do that to her? And he's like, well, and I'm like, what's the well? There's no well. Well, anyway, I got really hot and they were doing a bunch of stuff, and these girls were like super, super wasted. And there's a difference between girls going, sign my tits. Here's a Sharpie. There's that. And then there's, come on, take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. No, we'll sign your tits. No, I don't want to. No. Come on. No, I don't want to. And like, I saw him like forcing her to take her shirt off. So I was like, what are we doing here, fellas? And they're like, this doesn't concern you. And I'm like, kind of does. And they're like, you've seen one set of tits, you've seen them all. And I'm like, it doesn't look like she wants to show you her tits. It looks like you're forcing her. She's drunk. It doesn't matter. You've seen one set of tits, you've seen them all. So I'll never forget it. We were at this place called Hurricanes. It was in Nashville. And we were with a lot of people. So I just took my shirt off, and took my bra off, and put my hands on my hips and said, why don't you bring that Sharpie on over, guys? They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like the guy that I was with was like, stop. I was like, well, you seen one set of tits? You seen them? Goldie, put your shirt on. There's people here from the press. And I'm like, well, you seen one set of tits? And they got hot at me. And I'm like, did I make my point? Did I make my fucking point? They're like, yeah, no, put your shirt on. It's like, they didn't get it, but then they got it. I'm like, you just said, what's the difference? They're tits. Well, they're yours. And I'm like, so we had a couple run-ins, but for the most part, the guys were all really cool to me, but like sometimes how they treated the rats.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're rats, but like they're still human beings. So just give them a little respect, and don't just drop them off someplace with nowhere to go, or take care of them. If you're going to take care of them, then take care of them. So that was my first time that I didn't meet you, but I saw you coming in with the blue meanie. And everybody was so happy to see you, but there was a couple little mother truckers like there always are. And I had words. So, but yeah,
I appreciate you. Like, seriously.
What's that?
I appreciate you. Seriously. Like, I had a problem with Brian Lawler. I mean,
can we talk about Brian Lawler? Because he's dead now. So we can talk some shit.
So totally. I mean, I have to tell you, and by the way, thank you so much for, going to bat for me. I owned a wrestling company for 2.5 years. I wouldn't bring in half the people to talk shit about me. Ron Killings no-showed me one. So, I don't know what I would bypass that just to bring him on here. But yeah, Brian Lawler started a bunch of stuff with me several times. And I did remember asking him, are you drunk? Because you have that like look on your face, like the skin. And he got really pissed off. But he was not a nice person. Jerry was always nice to me. I worked with him for Memphis Championship Wrestling. I knew
Jerry's a pretty classy guy. I think, as far as workers go, he's old school. He's a gentleman. And the first time I got to the locker room, Brian was on it and he was like, and I was like, oh, this is a nice guy. And then he was like, hey, what are you doing later? And I was like, I've never been around wrestlers in my life. I was like, oh, wow. And then the next thing I know is somebody came up to me in the locker room and they're like, he's married. And I was like, oh, like, geez. And then the next thing you know, like a half an hour later, you hear, what the? Did you tell her I was married? You mother. You can hear it in the locker room. And I was like, what? Maybe you shouldn't just, again, I'm no saint. I've made some poor choices. I won't say with who, but I've made plenty of poor choices. I wouldn't do it again. And I'll tell you one thing, the older that I've gotten, I would never, ever, ever do anything that would harm another woman. And I remember years ago, I was with somebody I shouldn't have been. We all make mistakes. You live and learn. But I remember one woman saying, well, what are you doing? And I kind of like alluded to what I was doing. And she schooled me. It was in Los Angeles. It was on Melrose. This woman, she's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, well, you don't know me and you're not in my situation. She said, I don't need to know you and I don't need to know your situation. You should never do anything that harms another woman. Someday you'll learn. And that was, God, years ago. And that haunted me. And now I know what she's talking about. Like, don't do something that's going to hurt another woman. Don't do anything that's really going to hurt anybody. And when I meet somebody, and I think that I met somebody the other day, I won't say who, and I was really interested, and we were having it. God, I wish I could tell you, but I can't. We were having a real nice exchange. And then I looked their social media up. Why are you talking to me? I was actually excited that I thought maybe I could meet up with this person, even though I vowed I would never, ever date anybody in wrestling again. I was actually excited. And then I was all over again. I'm like, you sucker. Again, so I ask people like, have you been single for 2 years? Or, oh, you're divorced? How many years have you divorced? Like, I don't want to get in people's business, girl.
Yeah, like how many? I don't want to be around a guy that has young kids. Okay, yeah, I've wrecked homes before. I know that's pretty fucked up, but it is what it is. Look, in LA, I get all of my friends a good piece of advice when dating someone. Okay, sex lasts for a few seconds, but being broke lasts all day. I actually gave someone this advice the other day. Well, seriously, I mean, my friend's engaged to this loser, and he makes good money. He's making her pay half the rent, which is a no-no. And then he can't even afford to, like, he said he doesn't want to pay for her Botox, but he can afford to. So I told her to kick his ass out or go get a sugar daddy or something. Hi, Jonathan. We're doing very well. Hi, Road Trip After Hours. But really quick local clown crew. Uh, a ring rat isn't always a female. Like I have male ring rats. I don't hook up with them. You get rats. I mean, it's kind of a derogatory term to refer to fans, but rats do end up hooking up with people sometimes. A rat could be another wrestler, by the way. It could be a wrestler that's a mark for you. And
that's not what I call rats. So we have a different definition of rat. Rat is a group. Rat's a groupie, but in the wrestling world. And a groupie is a woman, usually a woman. It could be anything, but usually it's a woman that hangs around and just wants to be with anybody at all, pass around in the group. And I'm not judging. If that's what you want to do, you want to live your life, do that. Like, I get it. Like, you want to be around famous people. But I am a one guy thing. And I like to be with one guy. And that's hard enough to satisfy me. I don't want to water that shit down with a bunch of other chicks or 3-ways or 4-ways or whatever. Again, you do you, but I've yet to really find, I think, 2 men in my whole, I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe one guy in my whole life knew how to kiss me, right, Jasmine? Maybe one.
Good. I mean, hey, better than none, but I'm picky about guys. Okay, I have a dirty confession to make. Right, that's all. All right. There's this guy that I do like. Okay.
And
he kissed me finally, the first kiss, but oh my God, it's fucking slobber and drool. I'm like, oh my God.
What I was doing? Did you see me? I was like, bleh, bleh, bleh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, gross.
Okay, so, let's go. Let's shoot. For all the guys that are watching.
Yeah, we're
gonna shoot. We're gonna shoot. Me and Jasmine, we're gonna shoot right now. Okay, bad breath.
Bad breath, yes. Ashtray breath.
I can't date a smoker because I feel like you're gonna get sick. And then I'm going to have to take care of you. And I had a terminally ill mom and I have a handicapped dad. And I'm a little bit pooped out on taking care of people. Of course, I still do. And I loved my mom and I love my dad more than anything. But the last thing I want to enter into something is where I know you're just going to get sick. Like, if you get sick and we're together, till death do us part. I make the commitment. I got you. But I don't want to really go looking for somebody that I know. Oh, there's a bunny. I don't want to go looking for somebody that I know is going to get sick. So I'm not a big. Here's another thing. I don't like guys that really drink a lot because I've been in the wrestling business for a lot of years and I've babysat not my guy, but every guy and everybody that night. And I just am exhausted babysitting drunk people. So I don't really like to be around a bunch of drunk people because I don't like babysitting. I don't always want to be the one driving. I don't want to always be the one cleaning up your. Okay, there's another thing. Dirty apartments, dirty houses, dirty. I don't want to be around it. Do you?
Hell no. I dated a guy when I was living in Norway. I dumped one guy, then I was dating another. I went to his place. Oh my God, it was like a pigsty. I once posted it on Instagram and one of my friends replied, "Get out of there." I should post that photo again. I don't know.
I wish you would.
He was a personal trainer. I'm going to post it again. I'll tag you in it, but he was a personal trainer. I don't know what the hell is wrong with this guy. I would never date a guy that has a huge belly. I know that sounds fucked up. I don't like guys that are out of shape. Like, get some lipo, get a fucking gastric bypass, whatever it is, because I've got a flat belly. I'm not dating you. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a very shallow standard, but it's what I want. I have to be attracted to you. If I'm not attracted to you and I'm playing Pillsbury Doughboy with your belly, it's not going to work.
If I didn't like something about somebody like that, it wouldn't be go get gastro or go get lipo. It would be for a different reason, kind of what you're saying, but for a different reason. It would be because you're not putting in work where it needs to be put in. And I'm a real hustler and I'm a mover and I'm a shaker. And I want to be with somebody who likes to hustle and get shit done and work really hard because I do. And I find when I'm with somebody that I'm not equally matched with, it's not just them, but they start trying to tell me, oh, you don't need to eat that. Or you don't need to go to the gym, or you've already been to the gym this week. You don't need to go. And they start to pull away from my goals. I like to be with people that are better than me, that are better looking than me, that are better physically fit than me, because it helps me get better. Like, I don't suck off them and, drain them, but I want to be inspired by somebody. Or like some guys that I've dated, they like read a lot. I don't really read a lot, but like sometimes we just sit and read, and as dumb as that sounds, I get smarter, and I like being intelligent, and I like being articulate, and I like expanding my vocabulary. I like being around people that care about what they eat. and they care about themselves, because here's the thing. If you don't care about yourself, then how in the hell are you going to care about me and help me out when I need it? It's not like I'm transactional saying, if I do this for you, then you do this for me. But girl, a lot of the relationships that I've been in, I've done everything. Like your friend sounds like she's paying all this stuff. She's doing it. It's like, I've done everything and I'm exhausted. So I don't need you to do everything for you. For me, I don't really need you to do a lot for me, but don't take away from me. Don't slow me down. Don't come over and slop up my stuff. And I had a guy that I dated, he broke everything in sight. It didn't matter. Everything in sight, he broke it. He could I vacuum out my car with your vacuum? Oh, okay, sure, that's good. Oh, by the way, I ran over your vacuum. Like, you what? You ran over my Dyson vacuum?
How do you do that?
You do. I mean, it was a $400 vacuum. Did he buy me a new one? No. I got to tell you one more thing that he did. Guys, if you're listening to this one, I came home and watched him cooking bacon on my stove. And then you know what he did with the bacon grease? He poured it down my sink.
What?
He took this whole pan of bacon grease and he poured it down my garbage disposal. And I walked in, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what does it look like I'm doing? It looks like you're pouring bacon grease down my sink. He's like, yeah, I always do. Like, at my house you do? Well, no wonder I'm having. So here's the other thing. He would clog up my toilet. Oh God, it just with massive amounts of toilet paper until the pipes broke. It was just, he broke everything. So again, you don't need to buy me all of this stuff, but please don't come over to my house and run over my vacuum and pour bacon grease down my I was like, haven't you ever heard of like a can, like from food beans that you had? You save the can, and then when you're gonna have bacon grease, you pour it in there and then you throw it away, or you put it in the freezer and freeze it and then throw it in the trash and put it out on, you don't pour it down a sink. Whatever.
Well, there was a guy that once there was candle wax. He poured it down my fucking toilet, Goldilocks, when it was still like, I mean, bunches of it, then it wouldn't flush. I'm like, dude, you clogged my toilet. It was nighttime too. We had to call the landlord and they had to get their emergency services out there.
Do you like more metrosexual guys, or do you like more lumberjack guys, or do you like a combination?
I like masculine guys, people that are taller. I usually like blondes.
Really?
Yeah. Blondes, people that have a career and a decent credit score. No, I like manly. I like somebody who can change a tire.
Yeah, me too.
Work.
Speaking of that, I was always the one in the relationship changing the tire. As they sat in the car because it was raining out and they didn't want to get their shirt wet.
So. What are your thoughts on NWA TNA pay-per-views every Wednesday night for the past 2 years?
What do you
think of the pay-per-views running? Like, what do you think of NWA running pay-per-views every Wednesday night for like 2 years?
What do you mean NWA? Do you mean TNA Impact? Do you mean Billy Corgan's? What do you mean?
Yes, that's what I think. Paul, what do you mean? Because it was a question in the chat. Let's just go. We'll get back to that. He'll answer me. What was it like working with Trinity, tagging with her against Kid Cash?
Trinity is one of my dearest friends to this day. She's always been a class act. She's one of these women that could come out to the ring, and she did, and like just her nipples covered with caution tape and like barely anything on. And there wasn't one time that I ever looked at her and thought, you tramp, or you hoe, or what are you doing? Or I looked at her with complete pride because of the work that, again, we're going back to like somebody's physical body, like the work that she put in to look the way that she did, the athleticism that she had. I was always so proud of everything that she did. And then here's a cool thing about Trinity is even when I wasn't in wrestling anymore, every time a new song would come out or some new show that I was doing, she's the first person to start promoting it and waving the flag. Nobody asks her to. Nobody says, hey, would you share this or whatever? This is my friend Goldilocks. Look at how great this is. She's just a very solid human being, and she knows how to raise other women up. And that makes her even hotter than her physical appearance, because her body was just like perfect. She was the coolest chick ever. And I wrote several of her entrance music songs for her. And
Cool.
she was proud to have them too. And she promoted it and like, this is Goldie singing and she wrote this and she's a fantastic. I just think, do you know her story? Like she learned how to wrestle like on a challenge in like
Yeah,
4 to 6 months or something. I'm like, what? Granted, she was a stunt person, but I mean, she really learned her craft. Like, I'm sorry, my light's dying in here. I'm trying so hard. I got these little lights here to try to not look like a troll in the car. She, who's the troll? Me. She really did an amazing job. She was so athletic. All those moonsaults that she did she's amazing. So I still talk to her today. She's incredible.
That's great. Like Missy Hyatt is one of my oldest friends in wrestling. I still speak to her to this day and joke around with her. The question I asked you before regarding TNA when they had the pay-per-views on Wednesday, it was from when Jeff Jarrett ran it. That's the era that this person is talking about. So what did you think about having pay-per-views in the middle of the week then?
Oh, I loved it. But I don't know what you guys all thought of it, but I loved it. It was great. Yeah. I thought it broke up the week. It was something to look forward to. The live part of it, I'm telling you, live TV is the greatest education for an entertainer, for a sports entertainer, for an athlete, for anybody. Live is the best education that you could ever get, because you can't learn that set of skills without just going into the trenches and doing it. And for people that were like, oh, Goldie, she sucks. Goldie never did anything wrestling before this light died. All my stuff's dying. I'm so sorry that I don't look good for this. I'm trying by the dome light.
You look good. Don't worry.
I appreciate that, but I just feel like I'm like this, again, troll in the dark. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody told me what to do. They just threw me to the wolves, and they just didn't tell me what was going on. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. They gave me a microphone and just said, go out there. So I did the best that I could. And I remember the day they're like, go out to the ring and you're going to interview somebody. I'm like, who am I interviewing? And they're like, well, don't worry about it. Just go out there. We'll feed it to you. I'm like, okay, but could you give me an idea so I could at least prepare something to say? Nah, just go out there. And then I was like, what am I saying? They were in my ear and they're like, Chris Rock. I'm like, Chris Rock, like the guy in the movies, Chris Rock, the comedian? Yeah, Chris Rock. You're going to interview Chris Rock. And ladies and gentlemen, Chris. And I didn't know. I didn't have time to research what he was doing. I probably sounded like an idiot. So, oh, she sounded like an idiot. Well, you would too, asshole, if nobody told you what was going on and they just go out there. And for half the time, they were saying the most inappropriate stuff to me ever, which I never had a problem with because I signed up to be in professional wrestling. So a lot of the women who complain about things, I get it if it's funky and if it's bad and someone's done something to you, by all means say something. But if it's locker room talk, I signed up to be in a men's locker room interviewing. What did I think was going to go on back there? What went on? It's like, so I can't be mad if like stuff gets a little sus because I signed up for it. Granted, no one ever did anything at all, even 1% crappy to me. Everybody was really, really cool and very respectful when they didn't need to be, because I'm in a men's locker room. You know what I'm saying? They didn't need to respect me, but they did. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah, it's a very different dynamic. And, years later, I think it's just a different ball game out there. Like back in the 90s and early 2000s, it was a way different culture. And now it just seems so many wrestlers are so sensitive and they get their butt hurts over the slightest remark. But guess what? This is what people do. It's wrestling. It is entertaining. Hey, Vito, what's up? I still I saw Vince Russo's older clips. He looked hot then. Like, what the hell? But he's hot. He looked really hot though. Normally I don't like dark-haired guys. It's always blondes, like super blonde people.
Vince is still a really great-looking guy. He's a handsome man.
I know, it's horrible. I heard his dad is single, but we won't go. I'll probably get fired. Hey, maybe we should bring the dad into the storyline.
His dad comes on his dad. So I was on Russo's brand for a long time. I don't know if you know that or not, but I was under his umbrella, and he would bring his dad on for a lot of things. His dad's really funny.
Yeah, I heard that too. Vito was down there when Vince's dad was sick, so I think he was hanging out with him when when he was taking him to the doctor and stuff like that. Big Josh Hinkle says, I would like to say Goldilocks has been the inspiration behind my weight loss for 7 years. That's so sweet. Down 60 pounds in 3 years. Do you have any memories of Toby Keith and TNA?
Yes, because I worked with Dale Oliver and we did a lot of the entrance music together. And Toby was always over recording and doing things. He was a wonderful guy, and he's sorely, very much missed. I don't know the phrase I was trying to say, but he was a great artist. He was very authentic. That's what I was talking about. Country, like I believed what he was saying. And Josh, congratulations! You know I'm always so excited for you, and keep on going. And we've had words, and you know what those words are, bro. You just have to keep your chin up and move forward, and not let life kick your ass, because I would be in a fetal position if I did that, and I have to just keep on pushing on. It's tough life, tough business. Things are different than they used to be. There's a lot more components. There's brain overload, and I'm dyslexic, girl. So when I wrote down the date, part of it is because I'm severely dyslexic, and I have to just, it's okay. I just have to like really pay attention to things. And when I was talking to you, I was so excited, and I was traveling, and of course I kind of flipped the numbers. So
no,
anyway,
it's fun. That's the other thing with guys. If I date a guy, okay, I will request bank statements, like 3 months of your bank statement. No, I want to know, am I with a broke ass loser? Okay, look, are we going to live in a house on a golf course together? And then next thing you know, we're getting kicked out in some shithole like fucking trailer. Excuse my English. And no offense against trailers. There's some beautiful ones, but it's just, anyway, moving right along. Or we get kicked out and we're living in a rental. It just, to me, someone that wants to date me and being this thing, I want something a little bit more stable. So no, I will never date a wrestler, ever. I don't know. Whoever it is or whatever it is, whomever, not whatever, it will come my way and land in my lap.
You're way more bougie than me, girl.
No, like Tinder is like fast food dating. I don't do Tinder. That's like the fast food of dating, guys. And I don't know. Okay, that's hot. I like the fact that you live in a haunted trailer, Bria. You should actually do something about that and like move out of there, but keep the rent going and do it up and have some kind of Halloween thing going on and charge people to go in. I have neighbors that have a haunted house down the street. It's a very family-oriented place where I am now, and it's families and stuff like that. And no, I don't go to the country club hitting on women's husbands.
Oh, who said that?
It's a very Jasmin thing. Like it's very Jasminish. I've done that before. Not that everything came of anything. You know how these guys are. They just want to talk to you. They want to get the story, blah, blah, blah. Half the time it doesn't go anywhere, and half the other time they just want to be entertained by someone. But dude, you're having me put on my charm and my charisma, and I've got to be nice to you. So yeah, you're gonna buy my drinks even though you're a total stranger, and that's the way that's the way it rolls. Do you have animals at all?
Do I?
Yes.
Yes, I have a Persian cat, a rescue. He's black, the tuxedo Persian with a pushed-in face. He doesn't have any teeth because he's a rescue cat, and nobody wanted him, so I got him. And then I have a feral that just showed up, and for many years he would just kind of barely come to the back steps, but now he comes in like, knock on wood, like clockwork, and he likes to sleep at the end of my bed, and he's a beautiful animal, and I love the trust. And the other one's got like a little Buddha belly, the Persian. He's just like this roly-poly, fat little Garfield black and white cat. He's absolutely beautiful. They're just lovely, and they're the highlight of my life. And I don't even know. I miss them when I'm gone on the road. I don't know how people have kids and are away from their kids. Jasmin, do you have any children?
Hell no. Oh my God, gross. No. Oh no. I have nice long nails. I've always kept them nice and long. I'm not changing a goddamn diaper. I think kids could change their own diapers, like if they really wanted to. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Question answered.
I think also like it's okay. Like in some countries in Brazil, you have people with these little things, these carriers for their kids, and they take their kids to the bars all the time. Plus, how are you going to go on a date? You know, like how do you go on a date if you have a kid at home? That's not your plus one. Your plus one is your beau. My plus one is my cat.
What do you have?
I have an all black cat, Enzo, and he's a rescue. I was in my walk-in closet. I buy handbags and stuff, and I was organizing something. He was in there, and I didn't know, but I always leave that door cracked. So he was meowing because he wanted snacks and all this other stuff. How did we become friends with Vince Russo? Well, I know him from working with him indirectly. I don't think he and I worked together. Did I work with Vince at TNA?
Vincent comes out later.
Okay, so this is my first time really working with Vince, and he's amazing. I wish I worked with him sooner. I love the scandalous storylines. I love scandals. I like to think of myself sometimes like Donald Trump because he's a scandal. He doesn't need a scandal. So when people ask me about who I've hooked up in Hollywood, I've never really hooked up with anyone in Hollywood. I've hung out with people, but I've never hooked up with them because I am the scandal. I don't need you to put your dick in me for me to have a scandal going. I know. How did you meet? But yeah, I was Vince. I just know from there, and he's still one of the hottest guys out there.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's a silver fox, right?
Yes.
And how did you meet Vince?
Through TNA. Vince was pushing the envelope with me, and I just pushed right back and said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he said, well, we're going to have you do this. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. And I just kept standing my ground. And then finally he's like, this girl isn't going to do any of this stuff, which I said, I'll do this. And I was hired to do this. And then we became really good friends. He's been a great friend for many, many years. He's a solid guy. And I'm just very honored to have worked with him. He's an incredible writer. He's really great at taking anything that comes to the table and polishing it and making it a hit, no matter what it is. He's just really, really good at it. He's got great ideas. He always saw things in me, and I appreciate that. So I will be loyal till the day I die, even though we've gotten in arguments and got heat with each other. I still respect him so much. I think he's really, really talented, and he's great at what he does.
It's interesting because I would have loved to have worked with him during the Attitude Era, and I feel like he's bringing that to JCW. I've never had an issue with anything he's given me, but however, like about a month ago, Jim Cornette blocked me on Twitter. I know this is bitchy, but he was going on all his like TDS stuff, and my friend tweeted something about him on Twitter, and I didn't know his nickname was Corny. I had no idea. So as a joke, I said, Jim Cornette, let's do a strip off where you have to be stripped down into a bra and a G-string, and I get to paddle you with your tennis racket. So we have this really funny character at JCW named Mosh Pit Mike. I hope Vince one day writes it as Mosh Pit Cornette, and he comes out with the tennis racket. And it's no bash at Cornette being one of the greatest managers ever, but yeah, then we have the little strip off, but he's the one that strips off, not me. That's why he blocked me. Someone generated an AI of Jim Cornette in a Trump bikini, and I posted it. I said, hey, is this you? I know. I get carried away sometimes. Like I get like a little kid when I get obsessed on something. I'll go, like to the extreme. And, then that's it. So how many shows a week do you play when you do your
like a couple at least. Yep. Local? We do a lot. We do local, no, none local. Nope. I need to make money. They don't pay anywhere near us. So yeah, we do a lot of fraternities and sororities lately during the week. And then we play other bigger venues on the weekends and fairs and festivals. If anybody's listening, this is my thing this week. I've been saying we're looking for new opportunities because we play the same ones every year, which is great. We can't wait to come back and see you all, but it'd be nice to expand to some other areas. So if anybody listening has any ins or knows anybody that works on a council or something that has to do with a fair or a festival in your local area, please find me on social media and let me know, because it would be such an honor to come into some new territories. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I'd like to see you play live. And hey, Jacko, yes, you gotta rewatch the stream because you always do. Oh, and real quick, everyone, with the giveaways last week, I will get everything out to everyone tomorrow. If I get on my local city council, I'll totally bring you in without a problem.
Thank
And
you.
it'll be fun because I like rock music and I want to hear what you have. You know, I agree with you about Nashville. So I know so many heavy metal artists that have moved there. And one thing I liked about Nashville, they had it was cherry infused bourbon. It was so good, my favorite drink.
Nice.
But I know a lot of like artists that went down there who failed or just wanted to be in the back end, and they went down there thinking they're country and they're not country. So it wasn't for me, you know.
There's a lot of musicians here. Every week there's more coming and more coming, and it's already so saturated, and there already is no work for the people that have been here for 20 years, 10 years. And there's so many people are coming from LA. I came from LA, but I came from LA in 2002. So I'm kind of grandfathered in, I like to think, but just don't come thinking like I'm going to change everything. Like I didn't like how Beyonce was just like,
ugh,
I'm going to do, you know what I mean? No, but I mean, I just didn't like that. And her attitude was like, why aren't people accepting me? Like because they're not, because you got to come play honky tonks. And Randy Travis washed dishes at the Nashville Palace for 2 years before they gave him a shot at anything. He paid his dues. You can't just say I'm the queen of R&B and I'm gonna just come over and you know, it's like you got to gradually do stuff. Like Taylor Swift gradually started coming into pop. Post Malone just jumped ship real fast, but whatever. Darius Rucker, he comes from a country background, so him doing what he's doing right now isn't that far from Hootie and the Blowfish. It's a little bit, but not. It's sort of like, is it sincere, or are you just bored and looking for something to do? And now Beyonce is a country artist, and it wasn't really. You can call it what it is, but it's just like there's already a bunch of people here that are like on farms that really are doing things that you sing about in a country song. So I get it. Everybody can be country. I get it. But are you? So I live there. I can say it because I live there. I can talk some shit because there's a lot of fake ass people and there's a lot of talented people, but then there's not a lot of talented people. There's a lot of people that call themselves musicians. They're really not that good. So
I agree with you. And I was going to say that her with the stupid blonde wig and then her white, were they assless chaps or whatever they were? It was just tacky. I want to say they're chaps, but I could be wrong. When I did my first penthouse layout, I remember I had white chaps on. So maybe that's where I'm getting it from. I don't know, but I thought she had white chaps on, the white cowboy hat. I just didn't think it's not necessary. So now you're just clinging on to something that's cool. And to me, I feel as though if you haven't lived it, you're not it. Like mullets, that's not a haircut. That's like a real lifestyle. Mullets have a lifestyle. They drink PBR. They listen to heavy metal. They go to like a heavy metal to a parking lot and blast it on the radio. They have their beers. The list is endless, but I've studied mullet culture. Hey, Choo-Choo, I'm tongue-tied. Hey, Choo-Choo Baka, how are you?
Oh, it's Jay.
Record, not the bad. What's that about? He says, by the record, not the bad. So what is your record? Tell us about that. The latest.
It's called Talking to Myself, and Jay Baka. Jay Baka is one of my favorite people in the world. He is one of the first people to join Patreon and just be this like driving force in my life. We don't talk all the time, but I can feel him there. And he's just a really beautiful, I want to talk about a beautiful guy. Jay has lost a shit ton of weight, just like Josh. And I mean, he's just a gorgeous guy. He's the neatest dude. He's so kind. He's always putting everybody over. Jay Baka, I am your golden peep forever. He's just great. So yeah, our record's called Talking to Myself. It's a really great record. Thanks, Jay. That means everything, bro. Thank you.
No, that's really sweet. And don't forget, guys, if you're in the market for coffee, hop on over to supermassiveblackcoffee.com. Put in the code MBN for 20% off. You always got to mention this.
There's Jay. Look at him, little cutie.
I like it. I like the smile in his hair. It's just, he looks very happy and very like, hey, it's me, I'm Jay. It's cute. So you're back at TNA now. What are you doing at TNA now? Because that's a company I would love to work for.
I don't know. I went back and did my thing. I went back and did my thing, and it's not like I'm just sitting around waiting for a call, but I mean, creative production, they know, like I would love to be back. So, you know, whatever's in the cards is in the cards. You just move forward. You keep, like I was telling Josh Hinkle, you just got to keep moving forward. And like you said, things fall in your lap. But I mean, I've made it clear that I would love to come back, and I've got some angles, some storylines that I'd like to do. And we'll see if it happens or something else. I'm open to whatever they would want to do with me, but I would love to be back. It was really, really fun. It was awesome.
Yeah, I never like present storylines to people. I just let them go because I know what I'm capable of. One thing is I wasn't used properly at some places because I know that I do good microphone work and everything else. Like I've done interviews for about 15 years. I worked on MTV overseas and I worked on a metal show in LA. I think interviews, it's a very special art to it. It's like a conversation. I could talk to anyone, even if I don't know shit about them, and have a conversation with them, probably bring it out at some point. I've had like murderers confess to me. Is that legal? But so yeah, not like serious. No, well, yeah, kind of. You know, I was out with a guy. Okay, he was allegedly getting divorced. He's in a band. I can't say which one. And we're just having like a tequila and a taco. We're shooting the shit. Well, you know, I have to tell you something. I'm like, here it goes. He's getting divorced. He wants to fuck. Okay. No, I have to. Why am I doing the accent? Okay. Yeah, he's Swedish. I have to tell you something, Jasmin. Okay, what? Well, you know, a long time ago, I had punched a guy in the face. I'm like, all right. So what happened? No, I punched a guy in the face for harassing another man. I gotta stop with the accent. He told me that he had punched a guy in the face for harassing someone that was younger than him, and then the guy was beating on his girlfriend. He punched the guy, he dropped to his head, and he died. And this is something the man didn't even tell his own wife. So I feel as though there's some kind of like degree of trust. If you could tell me not the woman you're sharing your house with, needless to say, they did get divorced, and we never dated, but I kind of regret it because I would date him, I think. I'm not saying I date a murderer. Well, I'm not saying that I would date a murderer. I'm pretty sure I've dated some very sketchy people, though. I've dated guys in bed at some point. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it would be cool to see Goldie in JCW, but I don't wrestle. I mean, I could wrestle, but I just don't. I just like managing, taking the bumps, doing the microphone work, and just doing interviews and stuff like that. I might be doing some stuff with another company as well, doing interviews. You know, it's so picky with indies. I don't like doing indie shows, and I'm very picky about where I work, you know, when it comes to indie shows, because it's a struggle going around out there. Did you do a bunch of indies as well when you quit, or when
I did, yeah.
How was that for you?
I'm really unprofessional, and I was doing some crappy wrestling and ended up getting hurt, and so very unprofessional, and getting stiffed on pay and getting stiffed on putting me up someplace, not having the return plane ticket, like they said, just, you know, so yeah, I got bad taste in my mouth with it. So I would come back to TNA, especially now that locker room was super tight, really pro.
Yeah, I'd love to do TNA again. I would totally love that chance. I love the show. I watched the shows. I worked with Tessa Blanchard for a while. I was just about to ask you this. Will you be at WrestleCon? Do you have any appearances coming up, like any FanFest?
I do. There's one that's coming up. It's a newer one. It's not on the calendar yet. As soon as it is, I'll put it on. And WrestleCade, I was supposed to be at this year, but some stuff happened with that. I had a funeral that I needed to go to, so might be doing WrestleCade again. Again, love to come to whatever cons. I just need to be asked, or you know, I'd love to come.
I wish you were going to the gathering, not the gathering of juggalos, but the gathering in North Carolina. I'm on that show. It's Extreme Heat. So,
are you? Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I feel like I'm getting more signings.
Good, girl.
With JCW. So I want to keep this run with them because I'm really grateful for everything that they've done for me. Everyone hit the socials when the gathering mentions come up. Goldilocks, the gathering of the juggalos. Yeah. So everyone hashtag gathering of the juggalos and put let's bring in Goldilocks. I think it would be great. I think you do really well and you'd have fun. It's an experience and it's a lifestyle. You probably want to stay at a hotel off the campgrounds. I don't know too many people that camp there. So where could people find out more about where you'll be appearing and buy your music?
It's just go to GoldyLocksBand.com, GOLDY locksband.com. There's a bunch of cool stuff there. Check it out. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, it's just GOLDY Locks, Goldy Locks Rocks, ROCKS. And I appreciate you all. And Jasmin, thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Let's get you on the main one. I should say this is like the main one these days because I'm more consistent. Yeah, let's catch up soon. Have a great show tonight and break some bones.
Thank you, sweetheart. You take care.
Take care, love. So everyone, make sure you subscribe to all of her socials and so forth. Follow her. And I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate everyone for checking out my YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, hit the super likes, and watch the restreams. But I did want to say, if I am really tired and I cannot do a Monday live stream and I am traveling like I was a few weeks ago, I will always put something up here because I really appreciate the love and I really feel as though I'm more consistent now than I was before. And it's really, I just like seeing everyone. So next week's guest is Big Al from JCW Wrestling. The week after that, I have Mickey Lynn, the adult film star. Then the week after that, I have the Pussy World Order, which is Sue Young, Tara Zepp, and Lindsay Snow. And then the week after that, Caleb Conley. And make sure you tune in this Wednesday to Crazy Train Podcast for my interview with Devon Dudley. We had a lot of great faces this week at JCW this past weekend. I won't spoil it though, but it was really cool. It's fun. I like it. Plus there are a lot of great storylines and stuff like that. And it's always fun working with the same people. It's like a family almost, if that makes sense. The Glutes King. Yep. Jamal, have a sweet night. Everyone have a very blessed week. And don't forget to stay frosty.